What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Yanks of the Cop. This is your boys, as always, Steven, Andrew, and Wahomie. Before we get into it, fuck David Coote, whoever the hell this guy is. Oh my God, I have never seen a more woeful VAR experience in my life. First of all, he used the VAR, he used the offsides rule two different ways. Once the first time it was the elbow, the second time it was armpit. This goes back, by the way, to last year. I think it was against United. He was the main referee with that bad tackle on Origi that they didn't call, and then they ended up going down and scoring United.
Yeah.
Same referee, and Trent and Klopp ripped him apart at the end of that game. And then later on in the year, Lo Celso clearly stomped his Bilaqueta, didn't call a red after the game. He said he should have been a red. This guy's completely incompetent. He is a piece of shit and completely costed us the game. Hey, how you guys doing?
Still. Well, I was fuming earlier. But I've calmed down a bit.
Yeah, I've calmed down a little bit too. I mean, just scrolling through the Twitter timeline, I'll see like a Pickford tackle on Van Dijk or Rick Charleston tackle on Thiago, and I just start getting pissed off again. So I mean, it was a derby for sure, but we didn't come away with 3 points. So it just
how does Pickford not go off for that tackle? I mean, that was straight up diving scissors kick right into Van Dijk's knee. I don't care if it's offsides or not. So according to the rule then, so if we're playing and you guys go offsides, I have permission just to punch you in the face and nothing can happen because it's offsides. Apparently that's the rule now.
Well, homie, why don't you get into that? Because you had some good bits a little bit earlier.
You know the weird thing as well. Apparently that Pickford did the same kind of challenge on
Dele Alli.
Yeah, like a year or two ago. So he's like, what annoys me is I think goalkeepers get protected too much. They get way too much protection than they should do, and he should be sent off because that was a dirty challenge. He didn't get the ball. Fair enough, if he got the ball, I could say fair enough. He's gone in full wholesome in that challenge. He got the ball. He didn't get the ball. He took out the player. I don't think Van Dijk was offside anyhow because I think like he was being played on. I think it was disgusting. I don't think like that should have been sent off, and we should have had a penalty. And I think that now he's taken out. God knows how long Van Dijk's going to be. That's like could end his career. That's kind of how people are saying like how serious it is. Like if it's an ACL, a lot of players don't come back from that, or they don't come back the same player as they were before after that. So there's a big. And what annoys me.
I think we lost you guys.
That was 100% bullshit, man. I mean, that was so dirty. And and Michael Oliver too, they incorporated the rule of the VAR this year that, the main official can always go to the monitor. They did it for the Man United game just now. He can go to the monitor it looks like, I'm going to read the update. The referees in charge are encouraged to use the pitch side monitors more often instead of relying on the voice from Shockley Park. So why the hell did he not? Like, it was right in front of him. You can see him looking right at the play. So it's also on him too. But that's absolutely ridiculous that he gets away with that. And now we're looking at Van Dijk out for potentially a very long time.
Yeah, but I think Oliver has to get a notification or a signal from the VAR officials to go review. I don't think that he can just go review on his own, can he?
I don't think so. Not the way Mark Clyburn was saying it, that he was saying that the four officials didn't tell him to go review the situation, so he didn't go review it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think what's happening now is I'm seeing it in quite a few games. The referees are using VAR as an excuse not to do their job. So if VAR don't tell them to do something, they're not going to tackle the situation. So
it keeps them out of it. So it's like, I didn't mess it up as VAR.
Yeah, and I think that's the issue. I think like the standard of refereeing in England is shocking. No wonder they don't get picked for international duties games. You don't see England British referees at World Cups, championships anymore because they're not good enough.
Yeah.
No. So there's a reason for that.
I actually think Oliver was okay today. I mean, the VAR decisions came down to VAR. I think for the most part he was okay. And I think he's probably the best referee in England. But yeah, I mean, the rest of the guys are just absolutely terrible. But I think that tackle just sums up Jordan Pickford in a nutshell. I mean, it was sloppy. It was very reckless, clearly. And I feel like he almost got airborne in that tackle to Van Dijk.
He did.
Yeah, and he didn't get any ball. I mean, I got into like a little Twitter argument earlier with some kid who was saying, "Oh, he got ball. It was a fair challenge." I was like, "What are you talking about?" Like this, I wanted to.
What's so high up in the knee? It was ridiculous. So high up in the knee. Like Van Dijk's lucky he didn't get a broken leg from that.
So when I looked at it again, it looks like I thought he originally hyperextended it, the way his knee just kind of snapped back. But then I remembered the same thing happened to Kurt Zouma 2 years ago for Chelsea. So I don't know. I think people say that he walked off on his own accord. He was able to bend his knee. I mean, you hear stories of people being able to walk, run, or even can complete a game on an ACL injury. So everybody is different. We'll see what happens with Van Dijk, but I'm praying to God that it's nothing serious.
Well, yeah, all the news coming out. I don't know. There's just all these rumors going around. Someone saying it's 7 to 8 weeks. Some say it's 7 months. I don't know. Like, it just causes shivers down your spine.
Well, he came out with crutches out of the hospital. I
saw that photo. Yeah.
So
they always come out with crutches.
I think that's standard to not put the pressure in the knee. So it doesn't mean nothing.
But Thiago's just swelling, right? Thiago and his knee is just a swelling.
Yeah. So he probably
right now.
A couple of weeks.
Yeah, for right now.
How long?
But honestly, though, I don't know, a couple of weeks probably. We'll see. I mean, I don't think there's a report yet. We gotta wait. Yeah. But honestly, I think the second VAR decision was even worse than the first one. I'm looking at it now. I still just don't understand how he placed that line where it was. And it was kind of funny because now with the changes to VAR, on the TV coverage, you can see how he's lining it up, and it just made no sense at all. I mean, well, homie, I think you said it was going off his sleeve.
Yeah, that's what they said. They said that his sleeve was offside, and that's why they called off. That's unfair advantage.
That's ridiculous. I'm going to read the offsides rule from the FA right now. So a player is in an offside position if any part of the head, body, or feet is either in the opponent's half or is nearer to the opponent's goal than both the ball and the last player, the last opponent. The hands and arms of all players, including the goalkeepers, are not considered. So the sleeve should not be being considered for offsides because it's part of the arm.
I thought they were doing the thing of giving advantage to the attacker. Well, how did that? Like giving the advantage to the attacker? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, and if you look at the picture too, that Stephen, you were just looking at it, you can see Yerry Mina in the background. I thought his hand was actually keeping Mane offside. It's just like from the naked eye, it's just so tough to tell, and if it's really coming down to millimeters, it's just ridiculous.
Right, like and the thing is like it's not like they called offsides first and then went to VAR. It was ruled a goal, and then they overturned it for VAR. Like it'd be one thing if it was offsides and then they reviewed it and then they said it was offsides again. But the fact that they changed the call on the field makes it that much worse. There's no way that is clear and decisive offsides. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But we got robbed. But hey, I mean, let's look at their first. I mean, the moment Van Dijk comes out, the one thing that we talked about all the time on the last podcast was we need to start Matip because of the their heading presence with Calvert-Lewin up top, and there's other guys that are good with their head. And sure enough, the first corner kick with no Van Dijk, boom, they score on a header. But homie, I know you think that Adrian should have saved it. It was point blank. I think he could have saved it. I don't know if he should have saved it. I mean, the ball was a foot above his head. I understand it was right at him, but I mean the guy connected with the header 5 yards away from him. In my opinion, not one person has blamed Fabinho for jumping less than 2 inches off the ground.
I did.
Gomez not jumping. I haven't heard anyone say anything about them. It's always Adrian.
No, I agree with that. I agree. I think for Gomez and Fabinho were to blame as well for allowing Michael Keane to get ahead of them and score. But then I think like if that's Alisson, how many times have we seen Alisson say put it over the bar? We've seen it countless times.
He's world class. Yeah,
but okay, even a standard keeper, I'd still expect a decent keeper. Like I'd reckon, who's a Man United second keeper?
Henderson.
I'd reckon
he's way better than Adrian. Dean Henderson's way better than Adrian.
Yeah, but I back a second half decent keeper to save it, to save that. And I think that's again Adrian not been good enough, being too weak, not being good enough. But then I think it's a collective defensively as well. They're not good enough. It's poor. And that's my major concern is the fact that obviously, if Van Dijk's out for long periods, we're weak. We miss aerial presence. Not to mention his commanding of defense, his leadership. He starts the press. He holds the line, tells women to drop back, drop in. Matip, Gomez, and Fabinho are not vocal. They don't say nothing during the game.
Exactly.
So who's going to be shouting? They're not going to be shouting at the midfield to say push up, or be shouting at the defenders say hold the line and stuff, or be organising. And that's my major concern is the fact that we're going to be playing teams that are good aerial. Like Atalanta's good in the air. Sheffield United, West Ham. Those are concerns. Even if it's Matip and Fabinho at the back, those are concerns because who's going to be the one that's actually being vocal out of them too?
Yeah, that's the big concern for me. I mean, when you look at Trent Alexander-Arnold and Joe Gomez, some of their biggest issues defensively are positioning and discipline. And the reason why they're able to keep it together most of the time is they have someone like Van Dijk barking orders. And when I say barking, I'm like, he's yelling at Trent Alexander-Arnold or Joe Gomez. Matip is not going to do that. Andy Robertson is not going to do that. I doubt Adrian will do that. So that's the big miss for me for Van Dijk. But going back to that goal with Adrian, it was a great header by Dean. First of all, it was a good goal, and he was in the 6-yard box. Fabinho had to make it much harder for him. He made it very easy. I think he got like this high off the ground. He didn't jump at all. I don't know what the hell was going on. He cowered almost, and it's a bullet header right at Adrian. Should he have saved it? Maybe, but I think it would have been a great save if he did. If he didn't save it, for me, it's just a good goal. I don't think you can put the blame on Adrian for that one. It's just point blank. Like if you watch it back, it's point blank, and it's just like
all the commentators were saying he should be saving that.
They want the story.
Tim Howard said that it shouldn't have been. I know it's the American goalie, but I mean he has Everton ties, obviously.
He was awful at United. He was prone for making those kind of mistakes. That's
he was good at Everton.
Yeah, he was good at Everton.
Yeah, leave the Americans out of this, man.
Level. Everton was a low level.
Hey, this thing's the cop, man.
Yeah, but at Liverpool's level, we're trying for the league title. You need to keep it saving that. It's a backup keeper. At Liverpool's level, you need to keep that saves that. Push it over the top bar. You don't need to keep that fumble. That's the thing. Like when Dijk used to do that last season, where he'd be point blank and he would get the ball and it'd go into his fingers and we criticize him. And like that's not good enough. The level we're at, we need keepers that aren't doing that, and that's the problem with him. Like, I'm not putting the blame on Adrian only because I said it's a collective. You know, there was other things in the defense where throughout the game the defense did stuff that wasn't correct.
Well, I want to talk about that too because, I mean, Trent's defensive performance today was pretty pedestrian. I mean, the amount of balls that he just allowed to get whipped in there, completely unacceptable. I mean, that second goal. I mean, again, Calvert-lewan had a great jump. I got to give him credit for that. But honestly, I mean, you can't just let Digne just carry the ball into the corner and take a cross like that. I don't know what.
I don't understand what Trent was doing there. Like I watched it back. I have no idea. I think was he trying to hold the off? Like was he holding the line? Like I don't understand what he was doing. He just didn't follow Digne at all. It just
why was he jogging? Why was he jogging back? He wasn't busting a gut to get back.
What are you doing?
So he was jogging back, and we know Digne's got a good cross in him. So why are you going to allow him? That's the thing. That's the thing. What annoys me about Trent is the fact. Look, I think Trent is a good defender, right? But the difference between him and Robertson.
He's a good defender.
Overall stuff, you know, we've seen him mark out some good players like Sane. We've seen him do like mark out some top players in games over the time.
I think he's
not a world class defender, but he's good enough defender. He's not like a poor defender. But compared to like say Robertson, and Robertson is, I would say the difference in him, he's proactive. He sees the danger and spots it. He doesn't allow the opposition winger to have time to think, I'm going to decide I want to cross it.
Yes.
What Trent does is an opposition winger, he allows him the time to think, well, I've got time to make a decision here. How am I going to cross it? And so by the time he then goes to close it down, the guy's already whipped in the ball. And that's a problem. And obviously, without Van Dijk there, we don't have... Van Dijk cleans up a lot of balls where Trent allows people to cross the ball in, so it doesn't look as obvious. But without Van Dijk there, it's more obvious.
Well, I also feel like, too, with Trent, especially this year, I feel like he's just been way more lazy getting back on defense when he bombs up forward. I continually see him jogging back, and I think this is just the start of this year has been his worst stretch consistently for a while. I mean, I know he's had a couple of assists and stuff. I can't really think of a game this year where he really stood out as one of the best players on the pitch.
No, and plus I don't want to be too harsh on Trent only, because for that second goal, Robertson allowed Calvert-Lewin just to run off him. And it was poor defending by Robertson. He should have stopped it. And Gomez, who's Gomez marking?
No one.
Gomez, there was, I think Richarlison was to the right of Gomez, so he kind of got dragged over a little bit. There needs to, but no, you're right, because there needs to be talk there. Robertson needs to yell at Gomez and say, "Here he comes," because this is the big guy who's great great in the air. So I mean, Gomez didn't even know he was there. He didn't even jump.
Calvert-Lewin's it's not Lewandowski he's playing against or Haaland. It's Calvert-Lewin. He's had a rich bit of form, but we've seen other strikers have a rich bit of form. Like there was that Norwich guy who had that bit of form last season, then he faded off. Calvert-Lewin's just having a bit of form. He shouldn't be dominated that way. Gomez
that's what I'm saying. Like his one good attribute in his game is aerial superiority. So Robertson needs to yell at him, "Joe, here he comes. Jump, jump early." I don't know. It was just that's what I'm worried about with Van Dijk gone. I really am.
That's the communication with all three, with all of them, like was just poor there. It's collectively defensively poor. And then I think Adrian as well. He dived, he jumped after the ball's going in the back of the net. I don't know. But
there's no way he was going to save it.
Don't blame Adrian for that one too. You're succumbing to the
I'm not blaming him. I'm not blaming him.
pressure.
I'll just say I'll just say it again. Like, I think that goal goes different if Alisson's goal. Goes different.
No, dude. No, that's
no
that's
way.
A goal. That's a goal.
Not saving it. But I think Alisson barks orders to the defenders and gives them instructions straight away. Barks orders to say, "Look,
he's coming. Here he is." Yeah.
Yeah, he's coming. Barks orders. But I'm not going to blame Adrian for that. I blame the defense for that. Blaming Trent, Robert, and Gomez for that, because that was them being poor.
I actually think Matip played really well today.
Yeah,
Matip phenomenal. I mean, I think he's the better option to partner with Van Dijk than Joe Gomez after seeing him again today.
Yeah, I mean, that was his first game too. I mean, imagine him getting comfortable and getting a few games under his belt.
Phenomenal in his aerial duels. He can dribble the ball. He can pass the ball. He's great one-on-one defense. He has such long legs that nobody can get by him. It's like he's a great partner with Van Dijk. So hopefully Van Dijk won't be out for too long.
But the only problem with him is he's made of glass.
Yeah, I know. So hopefully, they both are he and Gomez. So we'll see what happens there. But I was actually really impressed with just like our overall response. I thought we played really well, especially in the midfield. I thought Henderson and Thiago really put in a good performance today. I think Thiago was 4 for 4 on his dribbles, had the most touches in the game, exactly what we expect. But they did a great job finding Mane, getting the ball out to Robertson. I thought they moved the ball great, and they really shut down Everton's midfield as well.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Sorry,
they made Allen look like shit.
Yeah.
He didn't really play well. He played okay in the second half. In the first half, he got dominated. Andre Gomez, same thing. And I actually thought, can James Rodriguez only switch the play? Is that all he does? He just like cuts inside and then just switches it to his left foot. Other than that, he didn't really do much for me.
How about that play today when he was down on the ground for like 2 minutes? Like we had the ball all the way back in their end, and then it comes all the way back to like right where he is, and he's still down. And then the ball goes out of bounds. And he just gets up. He's like, "Where's the card?" And it's like, dude, like he's the softest guy, and Richarlison is the biggest fake tough guy in the world.
Going back to midfield real quick, I think today showed how much we miss Jordan Henderson every game. I thought he was, for Liverpool, probably the man of the match. He was he should have gotten the game-winning goal. But he was absolutely phenomenal in there. He was popping up all over the pitch. He was winning back balls. He was keeping possession, and he was driving the midfield forward. And just partnering him with Thiago in there, it's so nice to see. I mean, defenses are just on their heels right away. And there were a couple of times where just watching Thiago, the defender was closing him down very quickly, and he just like did a quick move, like a quick juke, and he was right by him. I think that happened with Allen a couple of times, but it's just so nice to watch him play.
Yeah, I think the midfield was really good. Control the game. I think there was a period when maybe in the second half we allowed Everton to come back in when they had those 2 chances.
Yeah.
And they started to control the game. And I felt that was a point when we should have taken off Firmino. But I thought Henderson was badly missed. Exactly what we missed against Villa.
Yeah.
Same with Thiago. I thought them two were outstanding. I thought Fabinho was really good in the middle of the park.
Yep.
Defensively. I think midfield was good. My issue was going forward.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree. Going forward, I mean, other than Mane, I thought, Firmino didn't put his best foot forward. His movement was good, but his passing is just a little bit off. And I also thought it was a pretty pedestrian performance from Salah, other than that great goal he had. Definitely a great goal, but otherwise he didn't really do much for me either. He didn't really stand out at all like he normally does.
I thought Mane should have scored a second. We had that chance from Robbo.
Yeah. He could have taken a touch there. The one in the box, he just one-timed it. I thought he could have taken a touch. But yeah, no, I mean, when I was watching the first half, I saw Bobby gave away one pretty poor ball. Other than that, in the first half, I thought he was average. I didn't think he was below average, but in the second half, he just disappeared. And I actually was hoping that they would bring on Jota a little sooner, or even Minamino, just because I don't know, something's up. I was telling somebody on Twitter today, I think that we should bench him for a game, especially in the Champions League against Ajax. Played maybe Mane in the middle like they did today when Jota came on, and just try that. Just because he needs a mental break or something. I don't know what's going on.
Why is he so good for Brazil though? I think what I get back for me today was the fact that look, Thiago's there. Why is he still dropping so deep? He doesn't need to drop so deep to get the ball. Thiago's there. Thiago can bring the ball out, but he was still dropping deep, unnecessary. Just he needs to do what he does for Brazil. Like Brazil, he's told stay in the box.
Exactly.
That's what you need to do. But Thiago there, you don't need to drop deep. Stay in the box. Link up with Mane and Salah further up the field. Because when you drop too deep, he don't think he has the energy to then get in the box.
No, I agree.
Midfield, yeah.
Yeah, because anytime he receives the ball, he's receiving the ball 35 yards out. Like, it's even hard for him to create from that deep too. So, like, I would rather see him start receiving the ball at the top of the box and right in that area where that's where he was getting the ball when we had Coutinho, and that's when he was at his best. So that's where I'd like to see him go back to.
Same. But I agree with you. I think he needs to split on the bench because after today, like, he doesn't deserve to play against Ajax, to be honest. Like, it's unfair for him to play.
Well, who do you put in for him?
Either Jota or Minamino.
Yeah.
One of them two.
But if you bring on Minamino, then you're going to get the same thing. He's going to play like a false nine, and he's going to come back. He's going to track back the ball.
Then maybe I'd do what he did. I'd put Salah in the middle. Then Jota
Salah in the middle.
Yeah, the reason why I don't put Mane in the middle is because I think Mane's got good understanding with Robbo in terms of defensively.
I agree.
If you put Salah there, he's not going to do defensive work, and he's going to leave Robbo like unprotected. So you keep Mane there, and I think Jota needs to stay on the right because no offense against Jota, and I think he's going to be a fantastic player for us. But when he came on, he didn't do much, and he did that one poor pass to Robbo. You don't really need that in Merseyside Derby when you're trying to chase a goal. We'll get better at it, but I just felt like he the stuff he needs to learn in terms of our style of play and how to really work in our system. There's still a lot of stuff he needs to learn.
Yeah, it's going to take time. Yeah.
But that'll come. But there's just stuff like. But I think that's how I'd go. And I'd have them also changing then as well. Tell them, look, you can switch positions because you can all play different positions and have that how we used to have with Coutinho there when they could just alternate whenever they wanted. And I think that'd be how I'd go against Ajax. Bobby just needs to be told, look, you need to rest. Like, just kick your feet up, and then hopefully he can come on and like he did against PSG when he had the eye injury and score the winning goal. So
yeah, that was beautiful. I'm excited to get into the Ajax game. I'm actually really looking forward to that. It's too bad that I'm not going to have fans in the stands because that would be with Ajax. I feel like that'd be a really good one. But
I've got one question, guys.
Yeah,
were you guys shocked that Origi wasn't in the bench?
That Divock wasn't?
Not even on the bench. He's the only striker at the club. We've got Brewster rid of him. He's not on the bench, even though Origi's got priors to scoring in Merseyside derbies. You had Minamino on the bench, but Origi's got more credit in the bank than Minamino. He scored in the Champions League final.
Yeah, honestly, I'm still like I'm not a guy that I don't really rate Origi that much, to be honest. I really appreciate everything he's done and all that, but For me, he's more of just like a Johnny on the spot. He's, like when he's in the right spot and he gets the ball in the right spot, he scores. But he doesn't offer a lot of movement, a lot of creativity. I know he does have a nice record in the Derby, but I think I think I probably would have went with a Minamino as well over Origi myself.
But then that doesn't mean that Rigi's done at the club.
I mean, I get it. No, I mean, believe me, I get it. I just when I watch Origi play, he never wows me. Even in the games when he scores, he really doesn't do much except he does come up clutch in those times. But I don't know, man. I'm okay with him not being in there.
Well, there's a question that someone said on the Copish, where they're like, Salah today did nothing except for score the goal. If Origi had put in that kind of performance today, he'd have been slated for it.
Yeah, but I mean, Mo Salah has a pretty big reputation. I mean, he
you're
did
talking
exactly
about credit in the bank, right?
What?
You're talking about credit in the bank.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't do much on the pitch, but then he popped up for a goal, and it was a pretty nice goal,
But then when Origi's done it in the past, people not said about the goal. They criticised him for his overall play at times.
Yeah, but he doesn't often score a goal along with it.
But then I'm just curious because I think Origi's career is done now. The fact he's not in the bench today, he's finished. His career is over.
Yeah, I thought we should have sold him after the Champions League final win. To be honest, I think his value has dropped significantly since then. But I thought I read a report that said that he elected to stay. He wanted to fight for his position or something here at Liverpool.
I thought I read that somewhere too. But
summer, so I don't know. If he wants to stay, great. It's a good option. He's a quality guy. But if I were him, I'd want to get out of here.
I don't think Klopp sees him as a striker anymore.
I mean, he's definitely not a winger though either.
No, I think because of the Jota's now coming, his time's over. I just wanted to bring that up because I thought, like, what do you think of the fact?
No, it's a good point. No, it's definitely a good point because I mean, we even said it. Like Salah didn't really do much. I mean, he kind of got knocked down a lot today, stuff like that. I mean, he definitely was not the Salah that we've seen so far this year. I thought he's been one of our best players so far this year, but definitely not his best foot forward today.
Who's your backup striker now then? Because if Rigi's not the backup squad, who's our backup striker? Because it's not Minamino, it's not Jota. Jota's our striker. So who's the backup striker? Really?
He's gonna play Minamino there. He'll be a false nine. That's what he's gonna do.
But we'll see that doesn't work. Minamino
I understand what you're saying, but I guarantee that's what he's gonna do.
Yeah, that's what he's thinking. I mean,
just wonder why sell Brewster then. We don't have a striker.
Dude, I wish we kept Brewster, man. I love him, but I mean, he's on my fantasy team now, so I hope he goes out and gets a goal tomorrow. So we'll see. But so let's get in just to close it out. Let's get into let's do a little combined player ratings here. Kind of go around, just get what everyone thinks and go with an overall score. We'll share with everyone after. But before we dive into it, everyone, don't forget, hit that subscribe button. Really appreciate you guys. But yeah, why don't you kick us off with homie? We'll let you start with Adrian. So what do you think?
I'd give him a 5 because he made his 2 saves in the second half, and I thought those were good saves. So I give him credit for those saves.
So those 2 saves saved him, brought him up from a 3 or a 4. All right.
I think those are good saves. The one he made against
for sure.
Robertson, when we saved his foot, that was a good save. The one against Rodriguez when he shot. How's Rodriguez shot? So I'd give him a 5 for that.
I would agree. Actually, I was gonna give him a 5 before you said anything, so I won't give you too much shit.
I don't think he's at fault for the goal, so I'm gonna give him a 6. Giving him a 6. I will say though, every time he got the ball at his feet, I just said, "Kick the ball! Kick the ball!
Yeah,
Send it
everybody
long.
panic!"
I'd say that to myself the entire time, and I had to say, each time he did it, it usually ended up in a Liverpool player's foot. So I mean, his long ball distribution isn't that bad.
That's what I was saying.
It's still pretty poor. I'm not gonna give him too much credit for that. All right. All right. Let's start with the 2 low guys. What about Trent?
I'm gonna go 4.
I'm gonna same as well. I think
he was just so poor. He was so poor defensively. He really was. I'm going 4.
Even attacking wise, did Trent really put any good crosses in?
Honestly, I don't remember him doing anything offensively other than seeing him
jog back from
offensive defense.
I think he passed it he passed on the ground. I think through maybe that was Henderson. I don't know. I'll watch it back.
I don't remember. I don't remember him doing anything.
What do you say?
I was thinking 5 myself actually, so we'll give a couple 4s and a 5 for him. So next to him, Mati.
Boss 8.
Yeah, I'm giving him an 8.
Cool. I was also thinking 8, so 8's all around for him. Yeah, honestly,
Just stay healthy.
such a good job. Please stay healthy. He does look like a baby giraffe at times, but I mean, honestly, we saw what he can do today. Absolutely great performance. So let's do Virgil, not
Can't really give him
possible.
a rating. Yeah.
Can't give him a rating. Joe Gomez.
I'll give him a 4. He got destroyed. Okay, so one thing I'll say is this. So when it came to like kicks down the field, he did well heading the ball away. But when it comes to actual duels with Calvert-Lewin, he got destroyed every time Calvert-Lewin and him went one-on-one in the duel for air ball. He got beaten. I think that's not good enough. So that's for me. I think like I'd give him a 4 for that.
I'm gonna go with a 5. I mean, I thought he was okay. I didn't. I mean, Klopp said after the game that Joe Gomez was fantastic. I think those are the words that he said. I'm not going to say that he was fantastic by any means, but I thought he was fairly average.
I mean, I don't know if 5's even average performance. I mean, I gave him a 5.5, and I thought I was being critical of him. Pretty pedestrian, like you said, Mahomey. I thought he got abused a few times by Calvert-Lewin, and luckily he didn't get caught out of position too many times today. But we're going to be relying on him a lot now going forward. So yeah, hopefully he finds his voice and he can speak up a little bit. But it's going to be interesting to see how our back four plays the next coming games. How about our boy Andrew Robertson?
Robertson got the assist. I would say I'd give him a 7.
Yeah, I was thinking 7.5. I think he's actually been one of our best players this year, if not the best player so far this year. He's just been, even against Villa, he was pretty good. He's always put in a solid performance.
Yeah, I was thinking 7 too. I thought he was one of the better players on the pitch. I thought Matthew was a little bit better, but I mean, other than if he was able to stop that Calvert-Lewin goal, mark him a little bit better there, he would have been
jostle him a little bit, give him an elbow.
Yeah, no, he literally just like bent over and cowered a little bit. So, yeah, I guess I'll settle for a 7. What about Fabinho?
I would say Fabinho.
7 for you,
7.
Andrew?
Yeah, I was saying 7.5, but yeah, 7. Okay, yeah.
He was solid.
Yeah, I was 6.5 for me. Just
he needs to jump.
Now. Yeah, he needs to jump, man. I put that goal mostly on him, to be honest. The first goal, and he and Adrian split it. And what about Henderson?
9.
Yeah, man of the match for me, 9.
9. Yeah, I have an 8 for him. I thought, especially towards the end, I don't think he was meant to play 90 minutes today. I don't think he was going to play 90 minutes if Virgil didn't get hurt. But I thought, first 75 minutes, so I thought he played well. Kind of fell off a little bit at the end there, but great performance. Hey, didn't count though, right?
Yeah, he would have got that winning goal.
Yeah, would have. Hey, he would have gotten a 9 if he got that goal, but thanks, David Coote. And then masterclass from Thiago. I thought I'm giving him probably an 8 again. I thought he was fantastic.
Yeah, I think I'd go an 8. He's my 8. Yeah, I'd go 8. I wouldn't give him a 9 because I don't think I think a 9 was probably what he did in the Champions final against PSG, or I don't think he played as well as that.
Yeah, I give him a 7.5, 8. I thought he. What surprised me is he actually won back a lot of balls defensively. He was putting in some sliding challenges, and they're clean.
Good defensively.
Yeah.
Defensively.
Yeah, so I was impressive to see.
How about Sadio?
I would say if he scored that second goal when he should have scored, I would have given him Sadio's 7.5, 8, 7.5, 8.
7.5. All right. I got 7 for him. I got a 7. I thought he was pretty good. Not the best player on the pitch for us, but I thought he was one of them. So it's a 7 for me.
I'm giving him an 8. I thought he was everywhere. He was giving the Everton defense a run for their money. They were definitely struggling trying to keep him in check.
Okay.
And he scored.
Average of a 7.5 for him. That's good. Firmino.
I'd give him a 5 because I just think I don't know what's wrong with Bobby. There is something wrong with him. I know in the first half he did a few good hold up plays and link up, but it just didn't work to come off for him today. And I thought in the second half he was non-existent. Like we went. I don't know if he was tired still from playing for Brazil and the whole traveling, and he didn't have much rest. But he just didn't look. He looked like his lungs had gone in the second half to me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I'm gonna
I
give
thought he
him.
was come off earlier. Like, I think Klopp waited too long.
I
Should
agree.
have come off like, I don't know, the 45-minute or 50-minute mark. Just took him off and said, "Yeah, Bob's not working for you." But yeah, I'd give him
When did they
5.
take him off? 75?
Yeah, 75 minutes.
Yeah, I give him 5 too. Yeah.
Yeah, 5s across the board. And then what about Mo Salah?
I'd give Salah. So I give minus 7.5.
Yep.
I'd give Salah a 7 because 7 because he scored that goal. Otherwise, if he hadn't scored that goal, I'd probably give him a 6.5 because I don't think he did that well today.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a 6. Actually, I didn't think he was his usual self. I thought it was a little bit poor from him today.
Dean's good though. Dean's a good defender.
Yeah, no problems, no qualms there. And then Jota, you guys want to give him a rating for his 15 or no?
I mean,
No, I didn't really do much to read.
Cool.
5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Perfect. Well, there we have it. We'll post those later on Twitter and everything. But yeah, tough one today. I mean, honestly, we got a point. I think all things considered, best Everton team in a decade.
Yeah.
They're probably happy with the 1 point. We're not. That just shows a difference in mentality and everything there. They're perennial losers. We are winners. I hope it looks like Liverpool is going to the Premier League to try to get some answers for these 2 FA decisions. They have 3 different questions that they're asking, so hopefully we can get some answers in the next coming days on how David Coote decided to make these decisions. I'm going to keep saying his name until I find him one day and punch him in the face. But no, I'll never see him. But honestly, any last words for the for all the fans out there?
Just praying that Virgil, we get some good news from Virgil because we can't have him out for 8 months, something like that. Just praying. And the same with Thiago, that it's a quick recovery.
I'm definitely concerned about Virgil more than Thiago, but I'm really looking forward to Champions League against Ajax. We haven't played them in, I don't know, 50 years or something like that, since like the 1930s, I think. So is that at Ajax or is it at Anfield?
Away first, yeah.
It's away.
Yeah, first, yeah.
Yeah. So
good. I like that. Get it out of the way. But that wraps up this episode. Thanks again for everyone for tuning in. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button below. We really appreciate you all. We have an awesome episode coming to you this week for the pre-match for the Ajax. Stay tuned for that. But otherwise, we'll take the point. Not super happy about it, but hey, we move on. Next man up. Let's go, Reds. We're up.
Cheers.
Cheers, lads.